And I've seen the price of Bitcoin on Christmas Eve. I saw, going back 15 years. It's pretty amazing. It's staggering. But there are big swings intra-year. During the year, we can be up 70%, and then we can go down 50%, or it has in the past. Do people that love it want it to keep being that volatile because they make these huge gains? Last year, I don't know what people made, 60% or something. Or would it be better if we got institutional type stability where it starts being more transactional and where you could actually start using it to actually use as currency, for example?
Yeah, it's a great question. So a couple of things. One, volatility is not good or bad, right? Basically, volatility is only bad when it goes against you. So if you're long an asset and it goes down, you don't like volatility. If you're long an asset and it goes up, you do like volatility. So I think that's kind of point number one. The second is that Bitcoin in US dollar terms has been very volatile, right? In the last 2 years, there's been two separate 50+% drawdowns. This year, there's been over 20+% drawdowns. So in US dollar terms, it's definitely volatile. But the key piece is that volatility is measured in dollars. So if you think of the dollar itself, the dollar is hyper volatile as well. We just don't think of that because all of the goods and services around us are priced in dollars. 40% of all dollars in circulation or so have been printed in the last 18 to 24 months. So the dollar itself has been losing value at an incredible rate. Now, Bitcoin in US dollar terms is volatile, but one Bitcoin still equals one Bitcoin if you're simply buying goods and services priced in Bitcoin. I think that that's a key differentiator between the Bitcoin community and people who still think in terms of dollars is just what is the denomination? What is that unit of account that you use? I denominate my entire life in Bitcoin. When I make a purchase, I think of how much Bitcoin am I spending? And so the volatility affects me much less than if I was thinking about it in US dollar terms.
Did you see the article, Anthony? I've referenced it before, that blockchain is here to stay, but that Bitcoin is sort of the beginning of the usage of blockchain, and there will be a coin that uses much less energy that's very similar to Bitcoin that will replace it down the road, and we shouldn't fall in love with Bitcoin at this point. Did you see that article?
I have. I think the energy argument is interesting. That there's two key points that I think people kind of lose in the conversation. The first is that there's a linear relationship between energy consumption and the US dollar system. So in order to support more users and more transactions, we need to consume more energy. We need more data centers, more bank branches, more ATMs, et cetera. The Bitcoin blockchain at the layer one doesn't have that same linear relationship. So regardless of how many transactions fit into a block of transactions, there is the same energy consumption. So as it scales, Bitcoin becomes more and more efficient because you can pack more economic value into each one of those blocks. Whereas in the legacy system, as you scale, you need to consume more energy. That's first of all. The second thing is that we shouldn't apologize for the use of energy. Important things in the world use energy. And so when you ultimately look at Bitcoin specifically, a very large percentage of the mix is actually renewable energy. It's driving all sorts of R&D in the renewable space. And what we start to see is that if you want to protect your purchasing power, that is the key to Bitcoin. So if you want to protect your purchasing power in a world of undisciplined monetary and fiscal policy, what you have is you have a decentralized network of computers around the world that are securing that purchasing power, and they're defending it for you. And I think that's why you see over 100 million people around the world who have adopted this asset and chose to use that as the protector of the purchasing power.